Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers, from Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today, Part 8, on pain. From the Mother. Sri Aurobindo writes in Thoughts and Glimpses, "In each pain and torture of our being is the secret of a flame of rapture, compared with which our greatest pleasures are only as dim flickerings." Question to the Mother. What is the secret towards which pain leads? Mother replies, to a superficial and incomplete understanding, it may appear that it is pain itself which the soul seeks. It is not so. The very nature of the soul is the divine joy, constant, invariable, unconditioned, ecstatic. But it is true that if you can meet pain with courage, endurance, and unshakable faith in the divine grace, if instead of running away when it comes to you, you can enter into it with a will and aspiration to go through it from end to end, to find the luminous truth, the invariable joy, which is in the heart of everything, then pain becomes very often a more direct and immediate door to it than satisfaction or contentment. I do not speak of pleasure, for pleasure turns its back constantly and completely on this profound divine joy. It is a misleading and perverse disguise which turns us away from our goal, and which we must not certainly seek if we want to find the truth speedily. Pleasure makes us light. It deceives us. It leads us astray. Pain, on the contrary, brings us back to the deeper truth by compelling us to concentrate so that we may be able to endure, to face the thing that grinds us. It is through pain that one regains most easily the true force when one is strong. It is through pain that one regains also most easily the true faith, the faith in something above and beyond pain. When you seek pleasure, when you dissipate and divert yourself in order to avoid looking at life in the face, to forget that there is a problem to solve, there is something to find, there is a reason for being and living other than that of simply passing the time, and you go away without having learnt anything or done anything, then indeed you lose your time. You lose the occasion that was given to you, an occasion, I cannot say unique, but marvelous, of an existence which is the place for progress, which is a moment in eternity when one can discover the secret of life, one's reason for existence. You lose the possibility given to you to advance one step forward towards the deeper truth, discover the secret which puts you in contact with the eternal rapture of the divine life. To seek suffering and pain is a morbid attitude, which is to be avoided. I have told you that very often. but to run away before them, out of a superficial and light movement, seeking forgetfulness in excitement and pleasure, that is cowardice. When suffering comes, it is to teach you something. The quicker you learn it, the less reason the suffering has for its existence. And when we know the secret, it is no longer possible for us to suffer. For the secret reveals to us at once the cause, the origin of the suffering, and the way to transcend it. The way is to emerge from the ego, to come out of this prison and to unite ourselves with the divine, melt into the divine, allow nothing to separate us from the divine. When we have discovered this secret, and when we have realized it in our being, the suffering loses its reason for existence and disappears. It is an all-powerful remedy, not only in the deepest parts of our being, in the soul, in the spiritual consciousness, but also in the life and in the body. There is no illness, no disorder, which can resist the discovery of this secret and its practical application. Not only, I repeat, in the higher parts of the being, but even down to the cells of the body. If you can teach them the splendor that is within them, if you can make them understand the reality which gives them their existence, then they too enter into the total harmony, and the physical disorder that produces the illness vanishes, like all other disorders of the being. For that, however, one must be neither a coward nor a timid person. When the physical disorder comes into you, you must not take fright and run away. On the contrary, you should face it with courage, tranquillity, confidence, and certitude that the illness is a falsehood. And if you turn to the divine grace with complete tranquillity and give yourself up to it in a total trust, it will establish itself in the cells of the body, as it does in the depths of the being. And the cells themselves will share in the eternal truth and delight. God has made the world a field of battle, and filled it with the trampling of combatants and the cries of a great wrestle and struggle. Would you filch his peace without paying the price he has fixed for it? Distrust a perfect seeming success. But when having succeeded thou findest still much to do, rejoice and go forward, for the labor is long before the real perfection. There is no more benumbing error than to mistake a stage for the goal, or to linger too long in a resting place. This is from Sri Aurobindo, in his Thoughts and Glimpses. Mother replies. Sri Aurobindo writes here to put us on our guard against whatever there is in human nature, inert, heavy, lazy, easily satisfied, enemy of effort. How often does one meet in life people who turn pacifist because they are afraid of fighting, people who yearn for rest even before they have won it, who are contented with a little progress, making of it in their limitation and desire a marvelous realization, so that they may legitimately stop on the way. In ordinary life, it is so much like this. Fundamentally, that is the bourgeois ideal, that which has besotted humanity, made it what it is now. Work so long as you are young, accumulate wealth and honor, be provident, lay by, make up a capital, become an official, so that when you are 40 years old you may sit down, enjoy your income, and later on your pension, enjoy, as one says, a well-earned rest. To sit down, to halt on the way, no longer to advance, to sleep, to go down before time to the tomb. Stop living the motive for life's existence. To sit down, to move no more. The moment you cease to advance, you fall back. From the moment you are satisfied and aspire no longer, you begin to die. Life is movement. Life is effort. It is marching forward, scaling the mountain, climbing towards future revelations and realizations. Nothing is more dangerous than wanting to rest. It is in action, in effort, in forward march that you must find rest. The true rest that comes from a total trust in the divine grace, the absence of desires, the victory over egoism. The true rest is in widening, universalizing the consciousness. Be vast as the world, and you will always be in rest, in the midst of action, in the midst of battle, in the midst of effort. You will have the rest of infinity and eternity.